the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
This is actually like the new normal. You know, a lot of times you wake up, stuff is always constantly happening, and we're losing our kids. We're losing our parents, and no one should have to bury a child.
And tonight on DC News Now at 5, residents react as DC's Attorney General is taking his own swing at tackling crime. And still dancing, how Maryland's women's basketball team is preparing to go head-to-head with Notre Dame. And later, stretching your dollar, you got junk mail. We'll have how you can prevent from receiving it in the first place. And thank you for joining us now for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall, taking a live look outside where we had a chilly day, certainly chillier than yesterday, with temperatures in the 50s and some showers. Let's head over now to Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb in for Damon Matson with a check on the forecast. And Janessa, can we expect rain and a lot of traffic this weekend?
Yeah, we have two concerns. We have heavy rainfall that's currently coming down across the district, and then traffic concerns for your evening commute. And really, as people get to the Tidal Basin area, we have some isolated spots that we are seeing some heavy duty traffic. Taking a live look at the Beltway currently, I do want to show you these live cams out towards 17th Street at Constitution Avenue and then 12th Street. First, you're seeing this backup delay. This is about 5 blocks between the two, and we're getting reports of 45-minute delay here, along with the rain currently coming down. Now, coming into the area from DC to Baltimore, look at this. We're talking about 50 minutes, and I know we're in the heat of traffic time at this point, but please prepare yourself as we go into the weekend. These are some areas that are going to be dealing with some major concerns. Now, satellite composite radar on top of the traffic, you are dealing with a steady stream of moisture that's coming in from west to east, and this is just the beginning with this flow and the heaviest bands across 66. What's happening with the larger setup, we have severe weather across the deep south, and then you have this warm front from St. Louis into central Virginia, and that moisture is just streaming along, and it will continue here for the next 5 to 6 hours. So kind of the pockets of torrential rain that we are dealing with at a moderate level from Culpeper into Fauquier County as well, and we'll continue to watch this even for the district, kind of that misty conditions at this point. Now, we do have one area, Garrett County, under a wind advisory here for the next hour or so, where we're still dealing with wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour at this point. Plan accordingly. Tonight definitely going to be a wet one, but also look at our temperatures, Mark. We're talking about the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour. We're back in the lower 40s.
Janessa, thank you. The D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab is taking his own swipe at crime and improving housing in the district. His office announced today sweeping changes at businesses and housing complexes to promote safety and address poor investment that hinders living conditions. Our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming spent time in a few of these communities today, talking to residents and police. And Leonard, the AG and his office seem serious about tackling quality of life and safety issues in the district.
Yes, that's right. The new Attorney General says D.C. residents deserve to be safe and healthy in their homes, and he's so far willing to put the power of his office behind making that a reality for people weary from crime and poor housing in the district.
They try to keep the crime down, like, 'cause, you know, it's a high crime area. You know, so it's a lot to deal with. D.C.
resident Robin Chase is speaking of Alabama Plaza in Southeast D.C. that one police officer with a serious face called a war zone in broad daylight. It's one of 4 areas that D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab has targeted around the district. He's taken legal action against landlords to force them to bolster security, improve living conditions, and ensure safe housing. The owner of the plaza, with a daycare, grocery store, and barbershop, must now make security improvements that can curtail gun violence and drug activity.
If we have people that can actually talk and come forward and start making a change, you know, and some of the stuff might not happen.
Action was also taken against the former owners of Buena Vista Apartments in the Northwest to fund critical repairs and address lead problems. Also, an illegal nightclub was shut down at 209 Florida Avenue Northwest, and the owners of Worthington Woods Apartments must make significant upgrades. R.G. Wetherington is an Assistant Deputy Attorney General. She says these actions are an important step for citizens.
Based on the feedback we received from the community, these are issues that are important to the community.
Some lawsuits were filed and later settled while others agreed to the AG's demands. The daycare at Alabama Plaza will have a fence installed, for example.
And a part of doing this is also being responsive, not just to residents who live in the nearby community, but people who also work in the area.
Chase says she hopes the police presence continues.
It'd be a little more better if we have police, coming out, just checking on residents, making sure everything is okay. Their presence, it really means a lot, and I guess people just don't understand that.
Some business owners declined to comment and others could not be reached, but the AG's office says they have all agreed to the security measures and improvements and expect them to be implemented soon. Reporting from the studio, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
Leonard, thank you. An update tonight in Prince George's County. Police have recovered the stolen car that had the Boston Terrier named Gianni inside. The car and the dog were taken from a gas station in Landover Hills. The search for Gianni continues. Well, Montgomery County Public Schools discovered 2 anti-Semitic drawings at Walt Whitman High School in Bethesda. It happened yesterday, and students discovered 2 swastikas carved in a wooden chair inside a classroom. Staff say they called police. MCPS sent a letter to students and parents about the incident. The school system called the incident troubling, and it comes as Montgomery County has experienced several anti-Semitic attacks. And new tonight, a man was shot and killed last night in Southwest D.C. 21-year-old Christian Stewart of Concord, North Carolina, was found on Galveston Road. Stewart died at the scene. Police are urging you to contact them if you have any information. Well, new details on that scandal rocking the West Virginia State Police, leading to the ouster of its superintendent. Tonight, state officials are apologizing to any woman who was victimized by a hidden camera in the women's locker room at the police academy. Teresa Torresebu, the attorney for about a dozen of the women, said that she received the apology letter from the current superintendent of the West Virginia State Police saying that all victims will have counseling available to them. The incident happened between 2014 and 2016, and the person who allegedly hid the camera was a high-ranking official in the department. It was not discovered until after the person who allegedly put it there died. Governor Jim Justice says the 3 troopers who found the camera destroyed a thumb drive with locker room images on it. Former State Police Superintendent Jan Cahill says the destruction was troubling, but the only victim wanted the case closed. But since women in law enforcement all across the state are varying ranks trained at the academy, Torreseba believes that more women may have been victimized. A pending lawsuit filed by her alleges invasion of privacy and destruction of evidence.
This group of women really want answers to the question of, I want to know that I wasn't videotaped without my consent in the locker room when I served at the academy. And there's alarm at this idea of the destruction of evidence, especially by top brass at the agency in the state of West Virginia charged with preserving evidence.
A spokesperson for the governor's office confirms that state police received notice of the potential lawsuit. And Torreseba says that women from city, county, and state law enforcement agencies have already come forward to join the lawsuit, and she expects more to follow. Well, Metro announced today a new body-worn camera program for its police officers. Leaders are calling the cameras an important safety tool. DC News Now's Randy Bass has more on what riders can expect as the new program rolls out.
Yeah, Metro Transit officers are expected to start wearing these body cameras as soon as next month. WMATA says it'll add coverage to the system's more than 20,000 existing cameras across bus, rail, and stations. Officers already wear body cameras in many jurisdictions where WMATA operates, including D.C., Montgomery, and Fairfax counties. The move comes as overall crime is on the rise across the transit system, and ridership starts to see a rebound after the pandemic. We caught up with Aaron Gaither at Shady Grove. He rides Metro and works in security. He has to wear a body camera when he's on duty. He thinks it increases safety for both officers and passengers.
Showing what the police officers are doing and, getting the right story instead of the wrong story, because you do have a lot of, people that actually, give false information. And I mean, it protects us and it protects them too.
WMATA is calling this a staged rollout. It'll start with about 24 or so special operations and tactical operations officers before expanding to several hundred officers by the end of the summer. At the Shady Grove Metro Station, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Well, the hiring market is still hot and jobless claims in the U.S. are falling. Applications for unemployment benefits are down again as well, and they are remaining at historically low levels. Now, this comes as the Federal Reserve made its decision to raise interest rates after the collapse of two major banks. Inflation remains more than double their 2% target. The economy is growing and adding jobs at a steady pace. Well, the Maryland women's basketball team is still dancing, and they're in Greenville, South Carolina, preparing for their Sweet 16 matchup against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And last time these teams met, it was the beginning of the season, and the Terps won off of a Diamond Miller buzzer beater floater. At practice today, the Terps talked about how much they've grown as a team and are more comfortable heading into their game on Saturday.
That Notre Dame game was like the third or fourth game of our season, and I think we were just feeling each other out, and still to be able to, pull out that gritty win, I think we were really, that pushed momentum throughout the rest of the season, but also I think that gives us comfort in moving into this game.
Living in the moment is super important right now because this ends in a blink of an eye, but overall it's rewarding, and I just try to take it day by day.
Well, tip-off will be at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday.